Hello grade 8s, I'm on page 46 and 47 of your accounting booklets, and we're looking at the accounting equation and we are analyzing these transactions as well. So the accounting equation states that assets must be equal to owner's equity plus liabilities. Now we haven't looked at liabilities as such regarding the accounting equation, so you will see when we're doing the columns, we only have an asset column and an owner's equity column. So let's look at this example on example 1, page 46 and 47. Alright, so we are looking at transactions of Hotel Transylvania for May 2021. Alright, so the first transaction states that the owner increased his capital contribution from 130,000 to 190,000. So how much did he increase it with? You can see it went from 130 to 190, so that's 60,000 that his capital contribution increased with. Okay, so let's look, or let's put it now within the table. Alright, so it's 60,000 Rand under assets because the one account is bank. So the cash increased with bank, 60,000 Rand, and the assets therefore increases. The second part is the capital part. Now capital is owner's equity, so we put it under owner's equity, and as the reason we say it's a capital contribution that was made, and the effect on the money of the business or the owner's equity will be a plus 60,000 Rand. So I physically put the money into the bank account, so the cash increased or the bank increased, and it was for a capital contribution, so the money of the business or the owner's equity also increases. Plus 60,000 is definitely equal to plus 60,000 Rand there. Okay, so that was number 1. Number 2, placed an advertisement in the Transylvania Times, 900 Rand, issued and check. If we pay by check, I know in nowadays people use less checks and we just do an EFT, electronic funds transfer, but the cash or the bank decreases with the 900 Rand, and it was for advertisement. So let's have a look at the answer, and it's minus 900 Rand, so your cash decreased, which is the bank is an asset, so that's why we put it here. It's also minus 900 Rand under owner's equity, because when we paid for the advertisement expense, we actually paid out money from the business. So the money of the business becomes less because we paid for an expense. So that was number 2. Number 3, issued a check of 5,500 to Frankenstein Interiors for new furniture. Okay, so we issued a check, so we know our money becomes less, the bank becomes less, but we bought something, we bought an asset, which is new furniture. So let's go and have a look at the answer for number 3. The cash decreased with 5,500, the bank decreased. But what did we gain? We bought another asset, which is equipment, and the equipment increased with 5,500. You will see both of them are assets, so we will put both of the accounts or the effect of the accounts under assets. If we add the two together, we will get 0, and 0 is definitely equal to the 0 on the other side as well. So 0 on this side is equal to the 0 on that side. So that was number 3. Number 4, received 4,000 Rand from Griffin, the invisible man, for staying at the hotel for 2 nights. So I'm receiving money, so bank will increase or assets will increase, and from Griffin for staying at the hotel for 2 nights. So let's have a look at the answer of this one then for number 4. Okay. Very easy, do the cash part first. Cash increased or the bank increased plus 4,000 Rand. Okay, so that's the first one. Secondly, plus 4,000 again and it is current income, plus 4,000 again for current income. So why is it current income in this case? Okay, it's because we know that this guy or this person has his business, hotel's business, is to rent out the hotel space to customers. Okay, which means if I'm renting out, that is my normal business, and that is why it's current income and not rent income, because the normal business of the hotel is is to get money from renting out spaces for on a day basis. If it was monthly rental, it would have been something different. If it wasn't a hotel, it was just a normal investment that you made by buying a property and you're renting it out, then it would have been rent income for you. But in this case, it will be current income. So that was number 4. Number 5, bought an invoice book and printing paper from Monster Stationers, paid by check. So what happened to the cash? My bank decreases with 160, okay? And what did we buy? Books and printing paper, that's normally stationery. So taking a look at the answer then for number 5. Okay, so for number 5, so my cash decreased with 160, and the money of the business, the owner's equity, also decreases with 160 because of the stationery expense. Okay, that was number 5. Okay, let's look at number 6. Number 6, paid the weekly wages. There we go, paid the weekly wages and cashed a check for 3,200 rand. So what happened to my cash? The bank decreases. With 3,200 rand, and it was for wages. So let's take a look at the answer. Okay, so minus 3,200 under assets, my cash or bank decreased, and minus 3,200 wages expense. So it's a wages expense, and if we pay for the wages, the money of the business becomes less. Again, look at the couple of examples at the top. Plus 4,000 is equal to plus 4,000, minus 160 is equal to minus 160, minus 3,200 is equal to minus 3,200, and so the accounting equation is therefore working, because an equal sign left must be equal to the right hand side. Okay, number 7, second last one for this activity. Bought a toaster and oven from Mummy Appliances and paid 10,000 rand by check. Okay, we're paying money, so the bank decreases. We bought a toaster and oven, so that is something we use within the business. That's an asset which is called equipment. Okay, so that was number 7. So take a look at that. So it's minus 10,000 rand, cash decreases, and plus 10,000, your equipment increased. Alright, so that was, both of them are assets. So 0 for the effect is 0 is equal to 0 on the other side as well. And then lastly, issued a check to the municipality to pay for the owner's water, electricity. Again, we're paying money out, so the cash decreased with 600 rand, but again, it's not a normal business expense, it's the owner's water, electricity. So then we don't write water, electricity, we write drawings. So take a look at the last one over here, and minus, the answer would then be minus 600 rand under assets, your cash decreased, and then minus 600 rand under owner's equity. Okay, so minus 600 rand under owner's equity. So if you take a look at the owner's equity, water, electricity, therefore makes the money of the business less. So water, electricity expense decreases the owner's equity. Right, so just a reminder, at the bottom of the activity on the same page. Remember the following things, and that is fixed assets are land and buildings, vehicles and equipment. Current assets are bank cash and cash float. And then lastly, owner's equity will be the following ones. Owner's equity will be capital, drawings, income and expenses. Capital, drawings, income and expenses. And remember that capital and income increases your owner's equity, where drawings and expenses decreases the owner's equity. That's all for this activity.